Welcome to 2 Feet in the Paint, off-season edition.
Yeah.
Gary and I are feeling a little more relaxed than usual. Sun's come out, it's NBL, WNBL season, and yeah, good time to be alive. But we thought it might be a good opportunity to look at what's going on in NBL1 in the off-season. There's been a fair bit going on signings-wise, new coaches, new players, a lot of players returning as well. So just going to go through a few teams and see what's going on. Starting, Garen, with the biggest news of the NBL1 East off-season to start off with. Lauren Jackson is back.
Back, baby. Wow, who would have thought Lauren Jackson would have come back? Played a season with the Flyers, took some time off due to the injuries that occurred, and he's back with a vengeance. I mean, North's on the chip, Lauren Jackson's back, and nothing is easy. So, you know what she brings to the table.
Yeah, it's definitely going to change up the championship odds again. I mean, Manly's still got a great squad, which we'll get to soon. But North's obviously champions, went on to the national championship final last season. But with Lauren Jackson on your team, really good chance of winning, regardless of who they put on around her. So it'll be interesting to see how they fill in the rest of this Albury-Wodonga Bandits squad, where the players like Ash Hannah is going to come back because the same position as Lauren Jackson. Wouldn't mind seeing the master and apprentice set up with those two under a new coach as well.
Yes, Sammy Mack.
Yes, Sammy Mack. Going to take over from Matt Paps on the women's side. Sam Mack's been long-term assistant. Of course, been involved with the North East Bushrangers Association as well on a junior level. He's Mr. Albury basketball through and through, and he's a big fan.
He's been everywhere. He's done everything, so it's a good opportunity for him, and what a privilege it's going to be for him to be able to coach Lauren Jackson in a thriller season. So it's going to be a cool journey for him in the coaching perspective.
But Garrett, moving on to Albury's men's side, they've made two great re-signings. Jacob Sinkarak's back, and Lockie Cummins back for another season.
Well, how good is that? After the two imports left in Boogie Parks and Jameer Coleman, so they provided a lot of scoring, a lot of depth for them last year, and that's some thriller games in the Bandits uniform. Best of luck to those guys, but hey, you got guys like Sinkarak back, and how good is that for your squad? Insta-bucket, someone that can provide some energy. Mid-range assassin is what they like to call him at the Bandits area.
Yeah.
It's one of those pocket rocket guys that can just put points in a hurry.
Yeah, so that's good. They're two wings back, so that's really the spine of Albury-Wodonga's men's team back. For the men's, Matt Kolachik as well, stepping up from the youth men's team to become the head coach of the Albury men's side as well. So two new head coaches for Albury in season 2024. We'll see how that goes. Might be the edge that they need, because Albury's kind of been hanging around. But at least last year we're hanging around the kind of 7th, 8th spot. It'll be interesting to see this coaching changes can take them to the next level.
Cop your season tickets. Sponsored by Southern Valley Home. Your Albury-Wodonga Bandits are going to wreak havoc next season, so stay tuned for the Bandits boys and women's squad.
Yeah, and moving on now, we're going to move to Manly. Manly's been moving and shaking a bit this off-season. Great news for their women's side. Coach of the year, Nate Cohen's back, Alex Delaney's back, and Kim Hodges back. There's your spine right there.
There's your versatile three, your coach, the chef in the kitchen, and then the 2 stars. And go check out a recent interview with Alex Delaney featuring James O'Donoghue Photography.
Yeah, nice.
Where he breaks down a lot of the off-season stuff and, the Manly, what is it, Squawk Nation? Or
I think it's Manly Family, Squawk Nation.
Squawk Nation, whatever they call it down back there, yeah. So he talks in depth with the superstar of Manly, Seagulls, and they're going to wreak havoc as well next season. They made it to the finals and just fell short. And Brazilian squad have a similar culture to the North Bears and a lot of other teams where it's just family oriented. So
they'll do really well, and a lot of that started with Nate Cohen as well. Yeah. But Garen, what do you reckon for Manly's women's squad? What do you reckon they need to take it to the next level? Because they made it to the grand final this year, 2023. Just fell short to the North Bears after being Team of the Year. What do you reckon's missing from this Manly squad?
I'm no fortune teller, but if I were to add one thing to their team, I'm not a fortune teller, what do you want me to say? I would add probably 3-point shooting, probably a wing position or someone that can really emphasize that catch and shoot role. When players drive in, there's a dish out option, there's someone that can just be ready in the corner spotting up, but can also be a versatile defender. Someone that can play the 2 or the 3 and can guard opposition's best scorer at times. So that's sort of that 3-and-D kind of player. Yeah. Someone that's just a pure catch and shoot.
And for me, I reckon it's got to be the bigs department, because Kim Hodge does a lot of heavy lifting for that team. Josie Bullman's coming along pretty well. Yeah. Pretty strong player. Good minutes off the bench as well. But it'd just be interesting to see if Manly can add maybe 1 or 2 more bigs to help Kim Hodge with that defensive load and the rebounding, and also just offer that inside presence to open up the shooters that you're talking about.
That's a valid shout.
Yeah, and then for the men's side, new head coach Tim Hill stepping up from Youth League after making it to the semi-finals with Manly Ringer last year in the youth men's competition. Now stepping up to NBL1 head coaching spot.
Well, shout out to Dalton and Brad Dalton and Elbags and what they did last year. They're flipping the script, but like to see Matt Eldridge come back. So
Yeah,
good to see
him back too, yeah.
Michiganian come back down to the Northern Beaches and repping the Manly Ringer Seagulls. And he was one of the few bright spots for Manly to go along with Mitch Evans that they had last year. So two really good players. Eldridge, more of a slasher, athletic, can get to the rim, can get to the free throw line.
Yeah, he's a big body. He's a lot to handle inside.
So good to see him. And then the mid-range assassin, one of the few players coaches don't mind shooting that mid-range shot at a high clip, is Mitch Evans.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes back, but if not, they have got themselves a absolute gun of a signing in Mason Bragg.
Yeah.
Played last year NBL1 with our favourite Sunshine Coast.
Wow.
And tore it up there, played really well. He's a great finisher, very crafty with his little scoop shots, Euro steps, a very capable shooter as well, originally out of Burnie, Tasmania. Mason Bragg as well, has NBL experience, 2 seasons with Perth, 1 season with Adelaide. So maybe Manly's men finally have their star player. And they've been looking for it for a while, yeah.
Awesome signing, and puts Manly at a tough level. They could probably be that 5th or 4th spot.
Yeah.
Just fighting for that playoff spot for the men, so it's going to be tough. And
yeah, it'll just be interesting to see who comes back for them as well. I mean, we're big fans of Nesterov as well, see if he comes back.
So Manly front office done a great job this off-season so far. They've
made some great signings so far. Moving on to another great front office, and one not biased though, we're going to talk about North real quickly. They've come out firing this off-season. They've probably made the most re-signings out of anyone. So for the men's side, we've got Lewis Holley, Mike Golding, Nate Musters, Brennan Reimer, all locked in for next year. So that's great. That's almost just starting 5 coming back.
The core is back. You got Papa Bear, you got Holley in one. What was the top vote for Lewis Holley?
Chairman of the board.
Chairman of the board. So there you go. You got Chairman of the board. You got the Bash Bros. You got Lewis Holley and as good as gold. 24 karat Golding is back. Mike Golding. And Mikey Young, another re-signing?
Not yet, I don't know. But
not yet. Okay, we haven't heard it.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything, but you got to think that Mikey and Robbie would come back.
Why not?
Yeah, it was such an important part of last year's success. And meanwhile, for the women's, there was a bit of a worry that maybe that was the last rodeo making it to the national finals, but great news coming from the Bears that Maddie O'Hare's re-signed. M. Simons is back. The unofficial MVP, at the flag. And Renee Garlop's also back for another season as well, currently with the Sydney Uni Flames.
Flames as an assistant.
Yeah, as an assistant, so doing well.
Up in the ladder, and Norths have secured few solid players that consistently provide scoring, leadership. Just what Norths need, that veteran presence to go along with a lot of young players who will be resuiting like Caitlin Martin.
Yes, so that's the big one we're going to talk about, because officially Kate Seaborn is moving on to Townsville. Not sure we're rolled up there. I think it's going to be with the Fire. But best of luck to Kate Seaborn after years and years of service.
Coaching down there as well. Either role she will dominate in. Being one of the...
the Rocks for years and years. So really going to miss Kate Seaborn. I mean,
won a finals MVP, only scored 6 points, but had about like 8 steals that game, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Like can do everything, and just for the culture, fit really perfect down there at North. It's a shame to see her go, but bigger and better opportunities lead to better things, and gives other players opportunities like Caitlin Martin to really step up this season.
Yeah, Caitlin Martin has been featured in the Sydney Flames squad.
There you go.
I think he's a development player, but that's huge for her as such a young player.
Just graduated from high school. So.
Yeah, already getting WNBL experience. So throughout the season, we did call her Baby C-Bomb. Very similar game types. Feisty defender, capable shooter, and unselfish as well. Always looks to pass.
And really improving,
But yeah, it was such a big part of North's Youth League Women's Championship as well, Caitlin Martin. So not too sure if Norths will look to sign another point guard to replace C-Bomb, but you got to think Caitlin Martin's going to get the starting spot. She may be young, but she's very capable. So I reckon keep an eye on that. At the bottom of the table, Hornsby. Garen, new coaches for the men's and women's.
Could not be happier with the signings they got.
Yeah, the
Henny guard. As we call him, the Henny guard is back.
John Hennessy for the women's team, and Garen, wealth of experience, New South Wales state programs, doing a lot of work with Kings in the GPS competition as well. One of the best high school basketball programs in New South Wales. Spent time as an assistant coach for the Kings.
Yeah,
and is the former Waratah League head coach for Penrith, back in the Ben Kieran's era.
He was. Wow, that's some good research.
Yeah,
I was not expecting that, but damn, he's done the research. And what a signing that was for Hornsby after a quite turbulent season last year.
Yeah.
A bit of shake-ups in the roster, just a very deep hole we can get down in, but they're moving on from that and they're heading in the right direction, and that's what you want to see for a great club like Hornsby, a middle-class association, James.
Yeah, of 2007, so yeah, that trying to get back to those glory days. But yeah, that's good. I think Hornsby, look, as we said, rough first season, but like, it's a tough competition. Finding your fit's going to be difficult. And we know Hornsby, once they get their programs firing, can be one of the top sides in New South Wales.
There's a lot of great place to build around too when you've got young prospects for your men's and women's squad. So way to build around these teams and see what you can get
for that men's squad as well. New head coach, a long-time Central Coast Crusaders person, I guess. Tim Hudson, moving it down the Pacific Highway to the Brick Pit. Former Sydney Kings assistant coach, also played for the Western Sydney Razorbacks. So play the theme song, Garen.
I might have a poster when he's on that.
Yeah. I'll put the theme song in after this though.
Theme song. But
we'll get the poster going as well when we get back to our normal set. Played for the Razorbacks, the Hunter Pirates as well. Very neat.
Yes.
As well as the Sydney Kings. Yeah, bring back the Hunter
Pirates. Bring
back
all these neat teams, the Falcons. I guess there's no funding for teams like this, like even the Gold Coast Blaze. Was it the Blaze back then?
Yeah, the Blaze.
Townsville Crocs.
Yeah, the Townsville Crocs. Well, funny you mention them.
The Magic.
Oh yeah, the Southeast Melbourne Magic.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a lot of niche teams. If you want to see an NBL team back in action, put a petition, put a poll.
We'll do an episode on it. Let us know.
We'll just go on the streets and recruit players, and we'll hold like open gym runs, and we'll just recruit players, and we'll start our own franchise.
Yeah, we're thinking about it. Or the Glebe PCYC Spirit. What do you reckon? I reckon that'd be good in NBL.
Shoalhaven Surfboarders or something, I don't know.
Not the Tigers? Jeez, you're not happy about that rebrand, are you? But back to Tim Hudson. Was coaching the men's side in Central Coast last season. Also has been a Sydney Kings assistant coach. So Hornsby haven't made any player signings yet, so we'll see how their rosters look. But great start with both those coaches. Looking to mix it up. Just talking about the Central Coast. Central Coast has been shaken up a little bit with their coaching staff. So Rachel Manpar's going from the Udonis Hausum role, as we like to say.
The deep two shooter.
to head coach, which is great. Rachel Manpar's been around the Crusaders for a long time. Great people person as well. Be interesting to see how she goes as head coach of the women's side, taking over from Miko Valores.
We'll probably learned heaps from Miko last season, playing under Miko, and experiencing the WNBL with the Flames. So one of the older players and one of the more veteran players on that team. And it's a transition that players just, I don't know, like the Jason Kidd, where you go straight from playing to coaching, like Derek Fisher's.
I think she'll kill it. I reckon Central Coast Crusaders and both the men's and women's youth league sides made semi-finals last year. So the young guns are coming through for Central Coast. Players like Casey Quigley, Bronte Moore as well. These kind of players, I reckon, just with the right coach, which I did have under Miko, but now with Rachel Manpar, who's actually played with these players.
Yeah,
I think they could go to the next level, Central Coast Crusaders. So watch the crew this year. For Central Coast, men's side still without a head coach, so maybe Miko will become the men's head coach, we don't know. Maybe Chris Allback as well from the youth league side, former Waratah head coach, might step up. Don't know about the men's side yet. Moving up the highway to Newcastle. They've also made some coaching changes as well. Chrissy Bultitude, after spending 2 years as the assistant coach for NBL1, finally gets the call-up for the women's side. Has 14 years of coaching experience, mainly with Newcastle, but some with Maitland as well. Is a Musselbrook girl, we've been told. Newcastle basketball through and through. And finally, getting the call-up to the top squad. And then for the men's side, Josh Morgan as well. Played for Virginia Tech. Played for the Hunter Pirates. Play the song. I don't know if we have a Hunter Pirates song. But also played for the Western Sydney Razorbacks. Definitely play the song for that one. As well as representing Australia at the Oceania Games. So that was his playing career.
So two coaches. You got Bultitude and then
Josh Morgan.
Awesome stuff. And the coaches that demand a lot of respect from the players. So it's been interesting down in the brilliant Newcastle Falcons Stadium. And we'll head down Newcastle this year. Check out some General Roberts.
Yeah, we'll go to the General Roberts Hotel for
I know we over-mention them, but hey, it's a pub worth visiting once.
It really is as well. Trivia Tuesday is now open. Should be great. Go along, play. Hey, free to join, get a prize, pay for your drinks for the night. It's great. General Roberts Hotel, great value. But yeah, Newcastle, both the men's and women's sides, on that verge of becoming elite. The women's side definitely last year with championship threats. Unfortunately got knocked out by Sydney Comets in the first round. And the men's side as well, you got to think your players like Ryan Beastie will be back, fingers crossed, for the season as well. As well as Miles Cherry. As long as you've got those two, Newcastle's got a good chance. And maybe, again, same with a few of the other sides like Hornsby, the coaching staff changes can just be that little X factor that takes them to the next level. Speaking about X factors, speaking about taking people to the next level, speaking about awful segues, let's talk about Hills. Haven't done a whole lot this off-season. Reece Potter's back for the men's. Rob Merrick is back for the women's. But what I want to talk about is I wonder what Rob Merrick's going to do with Hills' depth this year. Because last year, they had a lot, like huge bench, a lot of players. It's going to be interesting to see who is identified as a few of their star players who's going to lead this side. Because remember, they lost Karen Mahoney midway through the year, who was kind of their leading scorer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. A lot of scouting will have to be done. A lot of off-season acquisitions. Maybe try to snag an import if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hills. A lot of people love playing for Hills. It's a big organisation, big culture. If you live down in the Hills area, it's convenient, it's family-oriented, and they got great media people down there. Good organisation. You can't fault the Hills.
It is.
Just great people.
Yeah, and the youth programs especially as well. So it's been interesting to see who in those youth programs converts over. Because they're, Waratah men, back-to-back championships. They've got plenty of depth at Hills. It's just a matter of if they can get that elite talent. And speaking of which, can the men's team stay the course is one of going to be the big questions. Because they really played great basketball last year. But will Sean Montague come back? Not too sure. Hope he does.
Yeah.
We don't know. Again, we don't know. Like, if we're NBL1 East media, then geez, this league's got a lot of work to do. But
if you're listening and you're enjoying this sort of content, stay tuned and follow us at 2 Feet in the Paint on Instagram.
Garen, moving on to Penrith Panthers now.
Panthers.
Last team we're going to cover. They've just re-signed Jared Moore. Great start to the off-season. And long-time Penrith coach Neil Offner is going to take over the women's side. So for Penrith, again, a rough, similar to Hornsby, a rough first year in NBL1. But under coach Jared Moore, Penrith is always going to have a good chance of winning. Great team-orientated coach. Great at drilling in those 1%ers. And you can see that with Penrith. A lot of young talent, like you're talking about the Tuis.
A road win against Albury last year when Falmeli hit the game winner. So you got Jaden and Caleb coming back for Penrith. So it'll be good to go along with Brody Schwarzer and Blair Williams. So
not confirmed yet, but you got to think they're going to come back this season. And
fill out the grandstand. I want to see more fans at the Penrith games. Fill them out. Build the culture there, get the community going, get a little Panther suit,
a great night out.
Little mascot, get something going there, get the community vibing.
And I know it might be outside budgets, but man, imagine if Jasper Rentoy is playing for the Sydney Kings right now, so congratulations to Jasper Rentoy. If he could return for the Penrith Panthers, that'd be pretty good, but might be a little difficult. Of course, smashing it with, I think, the Eastern Mavericks in NBL1 South, don't quote me on that.
They're the leading assists, and a great opportunity for the Kings. Shout out to Jasper Rentoy.
We'll be back later on in the off-season, maybe a few more similar videos to this, just to keep you updated. Everything that's going on. NBL1 East, summertime edition of 2 Feet in the Paint.
It's pretty good, you want to see a jersey in the background, or you want to see something different, or you want us to do something, or you want something done, just send a request.
We'll do a dance. We'll do anything.
We'll send a request. So James will do a dance, and we'll probably add in a jersey if you want to see a jersey. If there's something niche you want to see on the back
and of
wall.
course, Garen, 2 Feet in the Paint, OnlyFans coming soon. So make sure you subscribe. If you want to see that, just let us know. We'll do anything for money. Also, no, we didn't agree on that one. Okay, well maybe not. We'll see. We'll talk about that after. But if you got any jerseys, send them in as well. Maitland would love a jersey. If not,
Maitland jersey would just be beautiful.
Do it for you all. Anyway, whatever. We'll see how we go. If not, we'll go to the merch store. We'll see.
We'll go to Maitland Vinnies and we'll see if we can find a jersey.
Yeah, damn. Big shout out to Maitland Vinnies.
Is there a Vinnies in Maitland?
Yeah, probably. There's a Vinnies everywhere.
There's a Vinnies everywhere.
We'll keep these coming. Hopefully you enjoyed this a little more of a relaxed format for the summer sessions, the fireside chats with Garen James, 2 Feet in the Paint. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, and stay tuned for more episodes to come in the future.